We all know that air pollution level in Delhi is higher than the permissible limit. So, how are we surviving? Is it that we've become like cockroaches? Have we become immune to air pollution? Let's find out from the experts.
We have lost the air quality gains that was made from the first generation action in this city. So the levels are increasing, just not one pollutant, several pollutants together going up very high. It's a hairy cocktail of very toxic pollutants that we're breathing on a daily basis. Given that kind of a scenario, given the fact that what we are really breathing today and it is laced with very toxic chemicals, it is certainly leading to very serious health consequences. We already know that in India, air pollution has emerged as the fifth largest killer. There are evidences today in Delhi to show how many people are dying and falling ill because of air pollution. In fact, the number of premature deaths work out to be nearly 1 death per hour due to air pollution related diseases.
To substantiate the statement made by Ms. Roy Chaudhary, we spoke to Dr. AnilBansal.
Air pollution is a major problem in the cities. These days there is a lot of contamination in the atmosphere, and this is leading to more bronchial asthmatic problems even in the young people who are suffering because of the pollution.
Ms. Roy Chaudhary explains that air pollution in Delhi peaks during winters. Delhiites are exposed to significantly higher levels of air pollutants during the winter season.
During winter, hospitals like All India Institute of Medical Sciences, they have carried out studies to show that when the pollution levels go up very high, how they very closely correlate with emergency hospital admissions related to cardiac problems, respiratory problems and cardiovascular problems.
And what about our infants? How can we expose them to such a polluted environment?
This is major because of the environment, because the young children or the infants who are not resistant, whose bodies are not giving proper resistance to them, if they are coming in contact with the pollutants or with the air pollution or with the dust or with the smoke, then they are getting more asthmatic problems, bronchitis problems, and even common cold and other problems are also very common.
Smoking kills one and all, but smokers in Delhi and the metropolitan cities are more susceptible to be terminally ill than the ones living in a less polluted environment.
If you compare two people, one living in less polluted area, one living in highly polluted area of a city, so definitely the person who is staying in the area where his air pollution is much more, then he will be suffering more, his age will be less, he will be prone to all the very common disorders like cancer, like asthmatic problem, like allergic problems. They will be more common rather than the person who is staying in a less polluted area in our country.
So, this is an indication for all the city dwellers to kill the last smoke right now, before it kills you. Ms. Roy Chaudhary also strongly believes that proper implementation of laws in the country could bring a tremendous change in the society.
So it's true that India does have one of the strongest environmental laws and policies, but when it comes to delivery and enforcement, then the institutions are too weak to enforce them. And this actually means that for good environmental governance, we'll really have to do institutional strengthening and complete rehaul of the way we are implementing today.
We clearly need to bring in more CNG vehicles and introduce more metro feeder buses in the national capital so that people are encouraged to take the public transport more often.
The reason why we opted for natural gas at that point of time was that just by substituting dirty fuel with clean fuel, you could make a significant difference. A difference between a Euro 2 compliant bus then running on diesel emitted 46 times higher particulate than compared to a CNG bus. So clearly this was a leapfrog strategy.
As winter peaks in Delhi, so will the pollution levels. Burning of dry and wet garbage also release toxic gases in the air. And the 3 landfills of Delhi have accumulated garbage beyond their shelf life. In this scenario, governmental and non-governmental organizations, educational institutions and progressive citizens of the city will have to play a much more effective role in formulating and implementing policies as well as public understandings to make a meaningful difference to the society.